So, according to conversation yesterday morning that I did finally get through because he was sleeping and didn't realize and answered the phone before he realized. Anyway, according to that conversation, he's had to scroll through 16 messages to get to one that mattered because all of my texts are bullshit. That's what he said. So I'm going to read because people say a lot of things. And they're strangers that I'm texting. So I'm guessing you decided that can't call me. He asked you during Zoom yesterday and you told him he could. He also asked you when he could see me and you said you were busy and had things to do. So I guess his wants and needs are not on your list of things to do. Your wants, needs, and desires are showing to be a priority over the children's need for their mother, grandmother, primary kinship caregiver from conception. But you control the communication devices. Your actions may be missed by the audience, but I have known you since March of 2002. And then I list the birthday of my daughter and the birthday of her father, William David Kraft, is Bethany's father. Bethany is the biological mother and my daughter out of my uterus. The individual with him is a stepfather to Bethany and documented to have had questionable contacts. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I have, but I was there. So I was also there when they fought over Bill's urn and broke it. Steve, Bethany, stepfather and daughter were fighting over the ashes in an urn in front of the children and I. And all of us just kind of standing there going, these people are insane. Inappropriate. Backing me into a hallway where I busted in drywall and then having me hauled off like I was the one that was threatening someone. That's how it works. But there's medical records. There's an ambulance bill. There were 5 deputies. I was looking for a lighter, but they were accusing me of threatening to off myself by saying, somebody just shoot me, which is a TV show. The words, just shoot me. But because they wanted chaos and drama, because that's how they operate, they turned my just shoot me into, oh my God, she's threatening suicide. No, but I ended up being hauled out of my own house while my daughter was standing there and not even supposed to be there. But that's a whole story that, details those details. Anyways, live. But these are things that, these are the details I'll fill in that when I text my husband, he knows exactly what I'm talking about because I was there. But he gaslights the strangers. There's your terminology. No, lying liars that lie. Let's just call it what it is. Why are we talking in code? But they're allowed. They're enabled. Everybody just kind of goes along to get along because they don't want the chaos and drama. No. Because who are you harming in allowing that chaos and drama to reign? Who's being harmed at the bottom of this piss pile? What is that? All of you talking about hand symbols? Okay, sign language. American Sign Language. American Sign Language. Put on your shoes. Go play outside. American Sign Language. Okay, what is this? these are my hands, first of all. And if you want to say it's some sort of something, okay, you can do that. But let's say it's a Egyptian building. Where are our children? Where are our children? The littlest, the smallest, more precious. Where they at? Where they at? What kind of environment is this satisfactory? What kind of learning? What kind of learning? Where's the I? Where's the I? Okay, flip it. Table flipping. Jesus flipped tables in the temple. You have the kids at the bottom of the piss pile, and then you're satisfied with them being there. The kids are at the bottom of the piss pile in chaos and drama, and people showing you their true colors and modeling the children to behave in such a way that that's acceptable, and waiting for services. Because a therapist and pills and suspensions and probations and imprisonment are not going to erase or fill. I was held from my mother my whole life because they didn't want us to talk to each other, be honest, and grow and flourish. No, because if we grew and flourished and became strong, we could be our own warriors. And if we became warriors, then the men, where's Adam? Where is Adam? Where's the rooster? Everybody wanted to crucify Eve for giving in to the temptations. Where was Adam? Why wasn't he there? But we're gonna let Adam run around like a rooster crowing and slinging his cock around. We're going to let him develop a whole other household built on the foundations of the first wife. First wife. There was a movie, Bette Midler, Diane Keaton. Who else was in that movie? First wife. Goldie Hawn. Was Goldie Hawn in that movie? See, strangers don't know me, so they don't understand my language because they don't understand how my brain works because I am on a spectrum. But for me to have to go into all of this garbage with this individual is unnecessary because he knows he was there. Sometimes he takes credit for being places he wasn't because he tells my stories like they're his. But I'm the one that was there. One time I was standing with the neighbor across the street. He came out. We are all three chatting. And then I began to tell a story about processing buffalo. He wasn't there. I was. Holding a buffalo baby. They shot a buffalo, and I was there when they were butchering it. They shot a buffalo, and I was there when they were butchering it, and she was pregnant. And because of how I am, because of who I am, I wanted to examine and study. And in the process of the examine and study, they shot a buffalo because they were hunting, and they shot a buffalo to eat it. And in the process of processing that buffalo, you learn, you visualize, you touch, you Practical application is the best learning. And this screen crap, but Elon knows because he's on the spectrum too. Elon, I got a contract I want to discuss with you. Let's discuss a contract, Elon. At the beginning of the plague, there was a request for proposals sent out for autopsy tables. Stainless steel autopsy tables. And this was in February or March of 2020. It was when they had the ships, the cruise ships, not cruise ships, and the tents as overflow. There was an RFP sent out to manufacture stainless steel stamped grooves autopsy tables. And then it disappeared. Some of us were paying attention because some of us had husbands that liked to brag and talk about stuff that some people might not want us to know about. But because some of us have a certain background in some things, and others of us have other background in other things, but we're on a spectrum, so they assume that we're stupid. And then they easily say, they're eccentric, they're peculiar, they're odd, they're different. So what do we do to the different? What do we do to the ones that feel like they need to explain? I was going to read live text, and I'm still explaining and justifying why my brain works the way it does, and I have to translate my language and why my thought processes are the way that they are, and I have never. But I'm a stranger, you're strangers. Here we go. Let's go back to this, because I could do this all day. Your wants, needs, and desires are showing to be a priority over the children's need for their mother, grandmother, primary kinship caregiver from conception. But you control the communication devices. Your actions may be missed by the audience, but I have known you since 2022 or 2002. I see you. It is evil how you use those children as a weapon to hurt me further, as if my heart hasn't been through enough. But the children have hearts too. May God have mercy on anyone who breaks those hearts. They do not belong to you or me. You gave them over to the state, not me. Now you attempt to erase their mother purposely and deliberate. The state has no love for McKenna, and God does. They are his. The state has no love for the children. It's an entity. It's not a human. It doesn't know love. The state is a government agency. It looks good on paper. Looks good on paper. We are the family. We are the ones living in this house. We are the ones that experience dysfunction, chaos, and disorder when the top is pissing on us and telling us it's raining. We're the ones getting pissed on. Can you not smell piss? Can you not tell the difference between piss and water? I like getting rained on. Pissing on me is not something I prefer to experience, but it's okay. Everybody's been dropped down into this cognitive dissonance garbage. The little man asked during Zoom, if he could call me, look directly at the man and asked. And the man said, we can call. The little man looked directly at the man and said, can we go visit? And he said, I'm busy. In Zoom, where we're supposed to be being supervised, and I've asked for transcripts. But they evidently don't know how to initiate the closed captioning, which would create a transcript, because I have to put these buttons together in a process. They don't happen automatic. But any learning process takes a process. But I talk too much. And then I sent him a meme of the 10 Commandments in a meme. They hated knowledge and despised all of my reproof. Proverbs, Solomon. And there's my kid. Imitating. But this is the flag that flew outside my house when I lived downstate. Picture. Yep, Oakland County. That flag was in front of my house. But it's on my Instagram, so I don't hide. I've never hidden. I've always been very open, very honest, very... And my mom. In hospice care. My mom. In Mississippi, in hospice care. My mom. My vehicle was malfunctioning all winter. And the children were telling him, and I was telling him, all winter my vehicle brakes were malfunctioning. All winter. My mother died. All winter she was in, into the spring she was in hospice care, and I wanted to get to her. 3 days after she died, he showed up and had the truck fixed in 30 minutes. But I never got to love my mother. People have been holding me for my mother my whole life. And they expect me to not know what my children are feeling. I'm telling them exactly, because I experienced it my whole life. I'm telling them what my children are feeling. But who am I? I'm their grandmother. I gave birth to their mother. My mother gave birth to me. That's my mother. This is my yard in Commerce Township. Pictures of my yard. I'd prefer to be there right now. Truly, I would prefer to be there right now. I built that. That's my yard. That's what I left behind. Why? Because my husband failed. I have the paperwork. The fact that a narrative is being played out that the children do not love or need their mother, and I am not loved or wanted by my children, and all this time has been allowed to develop into this human mother given no other message than I'm unlovable and not even worth answering a phone call for. And everyone involved in this case allows this cruelty to continue, says far more about the character, integrity, and morality of those witnessing it and allowing it to continue day after day than it does my values and moral compass. I would never allow anyone to suffer this cruelty. The children love me and need me. It is cruel to continue this deliberate alienation of children from their parent and the parent from her child. Abuse, emotional and mental abuse, stress levels that meet the standard of physical abuse. Alienation of affection is abuse. Parental alienation is abuse. Driving a mother to beg to speak with her children and having the means to allow it is abuse. Watching it happen and doing nothing to stop it. I don't know. I would never watch it happen and do nothing to stop it. Not even to my worst enemy. It is cruel. It's a live text message, me reading it, that I sent to my husband on February 18th at 7:39 a.m. At 8:11 a.m., I could drive to see them, but no one on the other end is picking up the communication device. We can't force anyone to answer a phone, but we can destroy a mother and her bond with her children. We can ignore all calls for assistance and make the one we discarded and ignored the villain when she collapsed under the stress. Just ignore her and maybe she will go away. The problem is the children have needs that are not being met, but destroying me is worth the damage you are doing to them, evidently. The pain you are inflicting on me is having a collateral damage on them, and your drive to cause me pain allows you to take the pain you are inflicting on them as acceptable loss. The children have lost enough. Any further loss for them is unacceptable, and you are being enabled to continue stripping them of their mother and grandmother's love. How do you justify this? But I'm being mean, and he hangs up the phone on me when I start talking like that. And he says that I'm being unreasonable. Just another day on the job of being a mother without her children. There's no answer or hope for an end. Someone would have to step up and take an initiative to end it. No one hesitated in starting it. Someone would have to step up and take initiative to end it. The one who continues it is not experiencing pain and emotional duress 24/7. I would like to know when I can expect some relief from this great pain and emotional duress that is forced separation due to the power given to keep me separated from my children is causing me. I cannot even speak to my children on the phone. I cannot even hear their voice. This is cruel and abuse, but it is allowed to continue with no hope for an end. The only seed I have is mine. He says that I'm self-centered, that I'm being selfish. No, I'm surviving here. I'm surviving. But I've been, doing this and nobody pays attention. I would like to drive down and see the children. They are off school all week and I'm feeling well enough to drive today. If I could get an answer to a phone call or clear communication from the co-parent, contact would be simple to arrange. Failure to maintain your equipment will result in catastrophic failure. No one maintained this wife, woman, mother, daughter, friend. No one felt any need to maintain Allison, a whole human being. You still carry on as if there's no value in me. You carry on as if I do not require basic human dignity. And you say, I'm all about me. Basic dignity and love are a requirement for all life. You have given no thought to the requirements of sustaining my life. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You claim to have loved me. You claim to love the children. You say your love for me changed, so you want me to trust and believe that you love the children and will not leave them? Dude, that part. But strangers allow you to continue in that oxymoron. They have no love for the children, strangers and familiars who allow the illusion to continue stripping a mother from her children and children from their mother. The state is an entity. It does not have love and emotion. We are the love. We are the people. We, the people. I just spit. Failure to maintain your equipment will result in catastrophic failure, and you continue in the failure to maintain your children's bond with their mother. You can flip that and say, I'm making it about me. You erase their need for their mother. Every child needs their mother. God made it a requirement. You have no power to erase what God intended and planned. Your resistance is just a power trip. Failure to maintain your commitments and honor your promises is what led to my failure. Facts. I am no stranger to my husband, and my husband is no stranger to me. I see you for all that your actions and lack of actions, maintenance, lack of maintenance shows. I am no stranger. I am not new. If you want me to disappear, come disappear me. Continuing this action is worse than Jigsaw escape room sick. And you get off on the pain you're causing me, blinded to the pain in the children you have a need for, who have a need for their mother. You get off on the pain you are causing me, blinded to the pain in the children you have who have a need for their mother, primary caregiver, kinship caregiver, grandmother, present from birth, and nursed them through sickness and health, and already showed. But they're pissing on me and telling me and it's raining. And my children are at the bottom. Grist. Profit for the top. American Sign Language, asshole. American Sign Language, asshole. That's what I got to say in American Sign Language. Because that's what you're doing to my children. And while everybody talk, I don't remember eating corn. Hey, Mom, have you ever had Five Guys? I didn't know that was a burger place. But you'd had to be there because it was funny. But I didn't mean to be funny. I was just being honest. Driving to Ohio with my son and my husband. My son who works for my husband. Was it Ohio or was it Tennessee? I don't know. Real life, though. It happened. But those are the details that, it don't matter. Those are the details that the state doesn't give have time. But every hearing, a lawyer can charge $800 for every hearing. And a lawyer can pass you along, and never defend you once. And that's cool. While a mother sits here struggling for her basic human needs. While a mother is being donated shampoo and toilet paper. While a mother has to go and humble herself and pray. And go before the elders. And ask for help because her husband failed her. And because the state's supporting him and continuing and failing her children in the process. Acceptable loss. They don't lose. They still get a paycheck. And they'll get a paycheck when those children are 20. They won't be here. They're trying to erase me, so I may not be here either. Tomorrow's not promised for anyone. But evidently I'm Iron Woman. Evidently I'm Superwoman. Evidently everybody expects me to be guaranteed to be here in April on the 3rd, the anniversary of my mother's death. And then 3 days later, guess what? I get to do an evidentiary hearing for custody. And then on the 15th, I get to go for my divorce hearing. Because, this year hasn't been enough. And the last 5. They say that when somebody has 3 major losses in a year, that can cause a psychotic break. If there are moments when I seem like I might be a little broken, I am firmly on grip with what reality is. It's the rest of you guys living in fantasy land that I don't. But again, when you have a left in the woods for dead experience and literally should be dead, and you come out of the woods and you're still alive, you value human life and how fragile it is. And all life matters with a whole different vibe. But people expect me to keep going because they have no clue what I've already been through. But they just take for granted that I can just keep going, like the Energizer Bunny. No, I am one human woman, mother, daughter, sister, and tried to be a friend. But when I needed a friend, everybody bailed. But I know who I am, and I know where I've been, and I know how many miles I put on my vehicle. I know how many airline tickets. But I'm just too much. I talk too much. I type too much. I say too much. Too much. It's a song. I'm just going to type it. This was to the worker. These circumstances are what causes drug addiction and suicide. Period. Point blank. Bethany attempted suicide twice before she was 13. McKenna is her daughter and my biological granddaughter. But if I could be put to sleep until this pain and fear passed, I would not. I would not. Because there's no quit gene in me. I'm still here. Today I'm here. Tomorrow's not promised for any of us. I will not give anyone the satisfaction of ending my own life and allowing anyone to say, see, she was weak. She was a failure. She was selfish. Think what you will. I know I'm a child of God, and I know my children are as well. Everyone has their own freedom to choose. I would not force anything on anyone, but my husband knows me and chooses, and his actions and choices speak. But again, morals, values, and integrity are a matter of personal perspective. A lack of morals, values, and integrity do not bode well for the future of any of our children. But this is the view from where I sit. I'm not in your seat, or Sagan's seat, or McKenna's seat. Adulting can be a struggle. I do my best to remain adult. The chaos and drama is for children. I am not a child. My husband prefers I am not seen and not heard. But here we go again. Another rant, and it makes no difference from where I sit. Nothing's changing. Makes no difference. They need services. They need services they can't get from their mother. Because online learning, online schooling, online teaching, mother. And nobody even knew we existed 6 months ago. Nobody cared. Not one neighbor offered dinner. Not one welfare check. Not one human to offer respite. But those people were not strangers. They knew full well what my conditions were when I came here. And they told me they would come help me do trees. They told me they would come help me do. They told me they would come and visit. They told me they would come. They told me they would come. But I didn't act right. I didn't live up to their expectations of me. So they cut me off. Because I dared ask. I dared want clarity. I dared to want communication. How dare I? How dare I want to negotiate a fair contract and let my word be my bond? How dare I expect you to do the same in return? How dare I? But it's okay to break promises. And the one who broke the promises is the one that the state holds up to be deemed worthy of moral values, honesty, and integrity being instilled in my children. We, the people of the United States, should I get out the Constitution and read it to you? Should I get the preamble out and read it to you? I'm not going to do it from memory, but I can. And the dude, they're not after me, they're after you. But they got me. And what are you doing? Talk, gossip. There's no solution. There's no resolution. There's no end. I have no hope for relief from this pain. But because I tolerate it well, you don't notice that I'm in pain. It's called an invisible illness. It's too bad that it doesn't glow red so that you could actually see. But I'm begging for help and waiting for something I paid into my entire career. And I can't even afford a copay on refilling prescriptions. God bless America, please. Amen. In Jesus' name. Y'all are wasting your blessings. And I'm sitting here. Have a nice day.